at the end of the day, I wish somebody would have just told me that nobody cares. The only thing that's gonna matter is the work that you put in. The work that you put in throughout these next couple of years, bro, that is going to determine where you end up in life. That's gonna determine what kind of success that you get to see in your future, bro.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another weekly breakdown where I will be showing you guys how I was able to avoid a loss and how I didn't end up taking any trade as of last week. So as of last week, there was only one trade that I was considering, and that was NZD CAD. So we start off on the daily time frame as usual. You can see we have our impulse right here to the downside. The impulse is all one color. It also broke and closed below the lowest point of the previous structure, followed by a retracement of at least 2 daily candles, and they are also all the same color. If I was to draw out the structure, the previous structure, to give you guys a view of what the structure was looking like, now we are expecting the pullback and the possibly continuation of the trend, to continue the trend to the downside. Then we go to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, you can see I will have to remove this candle and give you guys an indication of what price was looking like at the moment, just like this. You can clearly see that price is at a support level right here. We are looking for sells on the daily because the trend on the daily is a downtrend. It was forming lower lows, lower high, lower low, possibly a lower high to continue the trend to the downside. But because we're at a support level on the weekly, it is less likely for price to just break through the strong level right here and continue the trend to the downside. It can come to this level, have a possible reaction to the upside, and then continue to the downside, but it's not just going to come to this level and just simply break through this level. So that was red flag number one. If you go back to the daily time frame, on the daily, if I was to place my fib in the opposite direction of the retracement, so we can measure the distance of where the new impulse is possibly going to travel to. So we are expecting that the new impulse is going to come at least to the negative 27 if we was to take this trade. But as you guys see, the price is already underneath the 61 level, because we always wait for a 4-hour close below the 61 followed by a retest and then continue the trend to the downside. But as you can see, the daily second candle hasn't closed yet and the price is already below the 61. That was red flag number 2. So just because the price was already below the 61 level and we were at a weekly support level, I did not consider this trade as a possible setup. And if we was to take this trade going against our principles, you will see that this would have ended up in a loss. So on the 4-hour, you guys can see that price is already below the 61 level and the second candle hasn't closed yet. So if we was to place our order on the 61, take profit negative 27, and you can either place your stop loss on the 88 or in this case above the 100 level, but then you would have to move your entry to create a minimum of 1 to 3. So the setup would look like this. And as you guys can clearly see, we are now selling into a support. That is something that you do not want to do. Sell into a support. If we was to play it out, price would look like this. Boom, it will step us into the trade right here, and then straight with just one candle, hit or stop loss. And this would have been a loss. So that's why I always say, if you see a setup like this on the daily time frame, where the candle has closed below the 61 level, you have to wait until the next day. So right here, you see below the 61 level, you have to wait until the next day, because more than likely price is going to shoot up before coming back down, or it's just going to shoot up and continue up. It is almost always going to shoot back up to the 61 level. And if we play it out, it would look like this. And this would have been the loss. Thank you for watching this breakdown. Appreciate y'all for staying with me, and I will see y'all in the future.